Hi, welcome to Timblick Art. If you haven't been here, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Like, let me learn how to talk. So today, I'm actually going to do like a little review, just some of these acrylic paint pens. They're by, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but we're gonna go with Emooqi. I don't know. But I received them. They were doing a giveaway or something, and I received a set. Um, Talked to them on Instagram. I'm not even sure how I got them, to be honest. I know it was the giveaway. I know they sent them to me. I do know that because I chatted with someone, but yeah, I'm not sure like if it was giveaway or what it was, like that kind of situation. So yeah, I just want to do like a little review. I've had them for a few months. I've just been working on other stuff, and I kept telling myself like, okay, we got to do this review. Just something that I wanted to do because like I've done a review with like Polskas and stuff like that, but I want to do a review on these. And today's the first day I used them. I just took the plastic off earlier, and I tried to shoot a video, but I had like an Instacart order getting delivered, and yeah, it was just a whole situation. So I had to stop, and now I am actually recording this live, where as of earlier, I was just recording it offline, and then I was going to upload it. But I decided to go live. It's about 10 p.m. on the East Coast. I'm in North Carolina. If that, I don't know that really matters. But yeah, so I'm just going to like, yeah, go over these pens and just show you how they bright and the colors and stuff like that. And yeah, so that's about it. Just like a little review. I don't typically use such a small nib size when I do art and use paint markers. I do use a larger nib, but I do use like I'll use a fine nib or a smaller nib for like, you know, touching up your line work or just like little details. But with these types of nibs, like with this is a 0.7 millimeter, I don't use them too often because on canvas and stuff like that, like, you know, rigid surface, it is actually not the best. These are really good for smooth surfaces and like smooth applications, but when you're using it on canvas, it can be tricky. You're kind of better off to use a nib that's a little bit more, I don't know, like felt, I guess, because these are like the plastic nibs, similar to your Posca markers. Um, Here's actually a Posca right here, and you can see from the two like how they're similar. Um, yeah. So, and yeah, so these are a lot thinner, but they're taller than the Poscas, and they have a smaller cap. Now, I have noticed just from today, I've only used this one. Just opened it up, and that's what reminded me to do a review, actually. But these screw off, which it is nice that they screw off, but at the same time, for some reason, when I go to pull them, it's like I always think it's like a little pull, like, you know, twist kind of thing, and then I unscrew the actual top. So that's the only, you know, I can't say watch out for that. This is what, yeah, they look like. This is a 12 pack, or 12 colors come in this pack. Like I said, it's a 0.7 millimeter acrylic paint pens. Yeah, I mean, the packaging's like, you know, it's cool. That's, yeah. Um, so yeah, they have graffiti on them. And like the directions right here, it says shake, press, and write. I don't know if you can see that. No, not really. Okay. So anyway, see, it's like, I don't know, it's weird. I think it's because there's not as much cap to pull. So like, you know, it's just easier to kind of pull that often it is this. Like, see, like, yeah. So I keep like twisting and pulling, which it comes off easier, but it also untwists this. So yeah. And I mean, it has like a little caution. The steps are here as well written out if you are able to understand what that, but that's clear. I mean, both are clear. It's good they have two. Yeah, graffiti, that's the size. I did notice that they don't have the flavor they don't, the flavor, the color names, I'm sorry. Yeah, the color names on them. So that is one thing I'm kind of curious about, is like why there's no color names on any of them. And it's not like anything came in here that said the color names. If it did, I lost it. But I'm about 100% positive that nothing came in there besides, like, you know, just the pins. Because I just took all the plastic on toxic. So yeah. And like, I mean, they do write good, and the colors on the caps, which I find that's really cool, is that they are true to color. You know, I mean, a lot of different types of pens in general, or paints or anything. I mean, today I feel like it's probably a little bit more online with, like, you know, the cap color is the actual color or pigment color. So you're pretty spot on, but at the same time, it's not always that way. And it's pretty nice that these are like, I mean, that's very spot on. So that's really cool, I thought, to see that. So yeah, I am plugging in my iPad. Sorry about that. There we go. There we go. So I have this like light that I use, and it is the most. It has the most finicky like USB end, like the port on the end, or the end that you plug in, and it's like so annoying. It's probably, well, I'm not gonna lie, it's just like a cheap one. So what do I expect? Anyway, so as you can see, it's already flickering, like I'm going to a rave or something. I don't understand. I mean, I guess I did job this or something. Maybe, possibly. I don't recall. But anyway. So yeah, so we have this green. It's like a hunter green, I guess. Or like an emerald. You know? And then this blue. And the ink seems to be like really, you know, like nice. It flows nice out of the tips. And I do like it because it doesn't just all like come out. It doesn't flood out in like all over the paper, which I do that with the Posca ones, or I've done that. I can't say I do that because I don't use them often, this size, but that's also a reason why I don't use this size on some of my work, because if it were to do that, I'd be pissed because I've done it before and I have a puddle of ink, so it's just like a little flood, you know. Yeah, so see this one, see, I don't know why I keep doing that. It's like crazy that I do that because, well, we've already went over this, but I do like them. Like, seems to be like some awesome paint, and it takes well to this paper. I mean, this is a Strathmore 500 series. Not sure how heavy of paper it is, but I mean, it's pretty thick for just like a sketchbook. Yeah, and I don't know because, well, right here, like, you know, this paper is like absorbent, absorbent, and so I don't know if it dries, like if it'll dry with a sheen, or if it's like a matte finish as well. I was just thought about that. I mean, right here it looks matte, like it looked like it would have a matte or flat finish. I don't know. There we go. It's flowing to the tip. I like keep waiting for it to just all come out. See, it does, like, I do it's winning me over with like its fluidity. Because sometimes I feel like other pens they're like hesitant and then it's just a rush of paint. So I do like that. You know, I mean, this looks like a third grader drew it, but yeah, don't mind that. Let's see, I was trying to think of. Now, I do see people who are like, you know, really big on like line work and stuff like that. They are fire with using fine tips like this, but not me. Uh, but I do like see it. Just these are like a good the fluid. I'm very curious about the larger nibs. To be honest, like a larger marker. I think that they could be fun to use, um, and a mix with the other nibs that I use because I do use um, Poscas and I use Molotovs and I've mixed some of my own using golden paints. So it's like, you know, I like to use some Montana refillable pump markers with golden high flow inks or high flow acrylics. And so, you know, I like to find different things to mix in with my creative process. And I think that these would definitely be something that I could add. And it just really depends on, you know, if I try a larger nib, then I'll know then. I mean, these are smaller. Like I said, I don't always use these, but these could be something that maybe I use for detail work or something new that I find that I want to try. Or even just in my sketchbook, you know, like, so I do think that they're pretty cool. I'm actually surprised about the quality of the ink. And like I said, though, it's hard for me to know because it's such a small, like I'm using on like a little bit. I'm not using much. And I'm just used to using like large markers. Like, I mean, I use a, my go-to is probably like a 30 millimeter or, you know, a 15 millimeter, 30 millimeter. Like I love like the big markers because I like to use my paint markers as if it's a brush versus as a marker. I just have always been like that with markers. And so that's everything I do is with markers. See, I just flooded this. I just got 2 drips out on, let's see. Yeah, let's get zoomed in here. There we go. See right here. But yeah, made a boo-boo. And it's weird because I don't like to color with like finer tips. Obviously it takes longer to fill in things, but since I did that, there we go. But yeah, so these, I really need to learn how to say this brand. Emooqi? I'm like, people are probably just laughing. I'll figure it out, you know, because I don't want to like butcher their name. I mean, that's just me being illiterate. Um, like I said, it's cool. I mean, yeah, it could do some like there could be some more finessing with the branding and stuff like that. I think, and definitely adding like, you know, color names, because if you wanted to get another one, you would want to know what color you needed. If there's multiple shades of red or multiple shades of a color, though there may not be, I'm not sure. Like I said, this is my first time using it. I imagine that they probably have more than 12 colors, but who knows? Maybe it's in the works. So I'm not gonna knock them. I just wanted to get on and, you know, actually show like using them. So if anyone was ever curious about them, or, you know, you just like I've seen them on Amazon, and I was always curious about them, but I never really searched them or anything, or had gotten any. So when I did end up getting them, it was unexpected, and I didn't even realize it was a brand that I had seen on Amazon until, you know, I did a little research. And so I wanted to go ahead and do like a little review and just show them in action. Like I may use them on some hybrid prints that I working on, which are just where I just, you know, do digital art, then print it out, and then do some traditional art on top. I call it a hybrid print because it's like I'm already drawing it and then going back and drawing over top of it. But with, you know, actually like a paint marker or pen or pencil, whatever it is, paint. So yeah, that's why I call it that. And I just like the name because I don't like to call it a print because there are prints that are, you know, 100% printed of digital art. And also like there's 4 color screen prints. And so I just like to separate because it's all different, you know, different process. So yeah, so these definitely I wouldn't use to color in large areas, but they're good for line work. Like, you know, small things. I don't know why I keep doing. I just did it again. Every time I go to pull it off, I twist it. These twist very easily. I don't like that. Yeah, so that's definitely something I would recommend fixing or adjusting, or, you know, but it's good if I was going to refill them, but I'm not even sure how they are as far as refilling, if they, you know, come apart easily, if it's going to refill with the same color or what. I probably won't get into that much depth. I don't know. It depends, but these are definitely good for, like, I would definitely recommend these for planners, for sketchbooks, smooth surfaces if you're one of those people who draw on like ornaments. That was just the first thing that came to mind. I've been thinking about that the whole time. I don't know why. I don't know why. Stone art, anything with like letters or words. I definitely think that these would be very good for that. And they come in a variation of sizes as well. So yeah, I'm sure you can find, you know, whatever size you needed. But when it comes to the fine tip, I mean, I think you could probably use these on regular paper. Like, it doesn't have to be a super thick paper, and you may be fine. If you start coloring like this, I think it may bleed, but they're nicely pigmented. I'm not gonna like say that they're. I mean, that's just the truth. They have a nice like dense pigment. Like they're a good body of pigment. But I notice like whenever I lay the ink and then I start like, you know, coloring again, I can't see the lines in it. So they may have a shiny finish on different paper, but maybe because of this paper being such a, like, whatever it is, as far as the how dense it is or thick it is or the material, I don't know. Don't get me making up words and stuff. But yeah, it's just that right amount of fluidity, that consistency of this marker of the paint. And assuming that because they're acrylic, well, yeah, I'm like, well, post because they're acrylic. I was gonna say because they're acrylic, I think they're shiny, but I don't know. In some ways, they seem like they would have a sheen, but in other ways, they don't. See, this orange is really coming out. It's just the way that it kind of scrapes the paint. That's why I don't like these plastic nibs, because that's what they do. It's like they're too fine to lay ink down on top of it, like layer ink. I don't know. I do know. But as I said, they are like true to color. I'm into that. So definitely A+ for color. And they do feel good, like, you know, when you're coloring with them. They're comfortable. I like the size of it because it's like, you know, the regular pencil or pen. It's not anything odd. Like the Posca pens are really short. So it's like, you know, holding a piece of chalk or something whenever you're using them. I mean, they're also a fine nib, but, you know, like that's the difference in them. Like you have a short and fat and tall and skinny. But yeah, so I mean, they're really true to color. That's like probably one of my most favorite things about these is the color. Good color. Like that's pretty cool. Like, you know, you kind of, it is what you see is what you get type thing. That's nice. And maybe that's why they don't have color names, because they're like, hey, this is, you see it, you get it. Like that's what it is. You don't need a color name. I don't know. I don't know. I just made that up. That's just an idea or a theory, or not even a theory. It's just me talking. But yeah, so these are pretty cool. I do like them. I think that they would be great for, I don't want to say like beginners, but you know, if you're not drawing huge pictures, but you want something nice that you can do in your bullet journal, or, you know, your weekly planner, even if you were to grade papers, like, you know, your teacher or something, or just notes, like, you know, like in class, or just in your journal, really anything. And I feel like they do dry relatively quick. Maybe not like, you know, I mean, it's paint, so you can't expect it to dry instantly. It's not like a regular ink. I mean, an ink will dry within seconds, but paint, kind of, you can't expect it. It's a lot thicker. It's a different makeup of, or different type of pigment or something. But anyway, at least you're able to clear the nibs off pretty easily as well, as you can see. That's, yeah, that's what I do. Like with all my markers, when I'm using them, I clean them off by, you know, and I just did that with this red one right here, and it worked pretty well. So I definitely think that's cool. Let's kind of see how this gold is. I'm curious. I do like that. Like it's like it comes out and it waits patiently at the end of the nib. I've done some of these, well, these, but I'm saying like the finer nibs, and I've shook them, like pumped them, and then shook them, and the ink just flies out everywhere, or the paint, and I'm just like, okay, at least this doesn't do that, so that's nice. And this gives me like a, you know, like a, I can't remember what type of markers they were, but they were about this size, and like they just had all the Crayolas, the skinny Crayolas. That's what this kind of reminds me of. 100%. That is exactly what I've been. Yes, I've been thinking of something to compare these two, as far as the way that they hold, and just I guess because I'm used to using like a, I don't, like a, what's it called? It's like a 3mm or something. I don't know, just bigger markers. Yeah, like a 1.8 to a 2.5. Like when you're used to holding, like, you know, a regular, like this size, I call regular size, because I mean, even with a Crayola marker, this would be more of your regular size, but they also make this size. So it's like, that's what I keep thinking of. And I believe that Emooqi, I believe that they do make this size as well. I just have this size. But like I said, I don't have, well, actually, okay, so I do have some markers that are this size, but they're still a little bit thicker than those. So I use Molotovs. These are probably my favorite paint markers, to be honest, that aren't matte. Now, I do love matte ink. I do love matte paint. I love flat paint. I love it all. I like acrylic, I like regular acrylic, but that was, I mean, I've always liked acrylic, but like even when I was younger, I loved tempera paint, which is kind of like a chalk paint, but really tempera paint reminds me of exactly like Posca markers because it's just a flat, semi-chalky, but it's not really chalky. Chalk has a lot of texture to it, I feel like, chalk paint. Whereas like a matte paint doesn't have, it's matte, it's, flat, but it's not texturized. And then when I think of a tempera, I think of it's like a very fine in between. I really think a tempera just like a matte, but yeah, a chalk is just texture to me. I just think of that. Anyway, so yeah, so see, like this is like what I'm used to using, and it's a, like it's a finer nib, but it's not a fine nib, like, but it's still fatter than this when it comes to holding it. So this really gives me that Crayola vibe, and I dig it. It's nice because it's not heavy. It's, yeah, it just, I don't know, for some reason it's very nostalgic in a way. Um yeah. So the gold is, well, gold. Yeah. And it has a nice little metallic, you know, sheen to it. These, and I mean, these colors are true to color. That's tripping me out. I don't know why. Maybe I just haven't. Maybe I haven't. Well, no, I've been doing art, just not my sketchbook. It's pretty cool. I dig it. I dig the gold, and I don't use much metallic, but I always say that I'm going to get them, and I'm always like, oh, I need to get a gold and a silver, and then I'm like, what am I going to use it for? I buy enough markers and don't use everything. These I said originally that I wouldn't use these on a textured surface, like an unsmooth surface, but I may give these a try because sometimes whenever you're drawing something and then you want to, you know, clean up your lines and stuff like that from using a larger nib to a nib this size, it's nice to have something that's super fine like this because then you can really get into the detail if you want. And though I'm kind of skeptical, I get a little sketched out using these pump pins on work that, you've done a whole piece and now you're just doing detail work. It's almost, even though it's more uh, daunting or time consuming to use a brush, it's still a better tool because these will flood out and then you're in a big mess. Or you could be, not always, but it's just kind of one of those chances that you take. So I definitely, you know, like these definitely, like, see, I mean, they do have very good consistency of paint. It's fluid, it keeps coming as they should. But I mean, to be honest, I've used Poscas and it's like I have to shake, 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 pump, pump, pump to get it to go, and then I feel like it becomes a mess. Whereas this, I mean, these work almost like a regular marker, and it's acrylic paint marker, which is very nice, and it's a very nice fine line between pen and paint marker. And I dig that. Like, that's really cool. Let's just draw a little tree. Because trees are everything. Trees are for the bees. Not really. Well, I mean, they're for everyone, but you know. And then we just we have this what's it called? That a baguette, I think. That's just up in the tree. Yeah, see, and then that's nice. Yeah, these were good. Like, I would definitely get more of these for sketching out, you know, anything really. They just work well. I mean, I could probably write with these and be comfortable until it ruined my piece of paper. But yeah, no, these are cool. I mean, like, I just drew that and pumped it once as while I was drawing, which is nice. I mean, it's, yeah. So that's awesome. So I definitely give them an A plus for the fluid consistency of this paint. Like, this paint is a good paint. So I definitely think that these are probably underrated, you know, like, because I don't see much hype about these. Though it's not like I look, so I can't really say that either. But I definitely would recommend these. I would recommend these for, you know, the beginner, the note taker, the scrapbooker, the line artist, sketching, anyone who wants to sketch, you know, definitely I would say just give them a shot. I mean, because it's not like, to me, that's kind of my philosophy with a lot of art materials is you don't know unless you try. Well, I mean, that's with life, anything in life in general, but especially when it comes to art, because I just like to give myself a reason to buy things that I don't need. But who's to say I don't need them? It may be my next favorite thing, you know, or my next best tool. It may help me reach another level of creativity, or, like, you know, just kind of excel at what I'm doing. Like, you just always have to continue to try things and push yourself. So I always like to remind myself that whenever I want something new. It's just an excuse I use. Anyway, I forgot where I was going. See, that's what happens. There we go. It's gonna force me to do it. See, that's what I mean, that dot. That's why I don't like these pens. I don't trust them. After I said all the good stuff, and I'm like, I don't trust them. I don't like these pens. It's not just this pen. It's any pen, like fine nib like this, that you have to pump. It just irks me. It's only these plastic ones. You know, like, I'm trying to remember if, okay, so they're plastic, but it's like they have, I'm not sure about these, but it's like they have a felt piece inside. It's like, this is like cut into like little star, like a little star piece of plastic, and like it comes out and it has like two legs like this, and it's like, yeah. But I don't remember what brand or whatever marker it was, but they had felt in them, and it wasn't just plastic. And I think that's the difference of keeping them from just pouring out everywhere and not. But also too, you have to watch out with like nibs like this on any marker, or like I'm saying, like any brand marker, not specifically to this marker or this brand, but these nibs get clogged up because of the plastic. And see, that's how you can see it's like picking up stuff. But that's how these nibs get like that. I learned that the hard way. And it's really weird, but it's just how the nib is. And I mean, so it's just like keeping an eye out for that. There we go. Our tree, just, you know, a little gold and brownness to it. I don't know. Let's see, maybe it should have an ornament. I don't know. Besides the baguette, we can put a little ornament. I thought I cleaned this nib out, but I guess I didn't. No, it just looks like we're gonna have an apple. Damn it. Dang it. Wait, we didn't use the silver, so we'll use some silver on this. Alright, so if you push it really fast 3 times, it seems to like flood the tip pretty quick. Where I was doing it like slow earlier, I was like shaking it and then I'd like pump it, but it's like if you actually kind of get it going first and then do it, it seems to fill it faster and then you don't have to keep doing that. Look at this cool little Christmas ball. It's gonna be so good. That's the little. Oh. Let's see. So I was trying to think if. Nah, I don't know if I wanna. No. I was trying to think of what else I want to put on it, and I'm like, nothing. So yeah. So now we have this little review of the. Let's see. Oh no, it was right. Sorry. Emooqi, 12 colors, 0.7mm acrylic paint pens. Yeah. So just to recap, these are awesome for sketching, as you can see, writing, journaling, scrapbooking. I mean, pretty much anything you can use as a pen. I think they would work good on a lot of different weights of paper. So I definitely would recommend trying that. Like I said, this is pretty heavy, so I know that it worked well in here. And I used it in a planner earlier that had like a thinner paper. It was a like a mini bullet journal, and it did work well and it didn't bleed. So yeah, I definitely would give that a try too. Oops, I just see. Yeah. Yeah, see, that's what, like, you have to be careful with. I guess maybe shaking it a lot more and pumping it a lot less may work. See, I don't know. It's weird because it's like on here it was fine. On here, it's weird. But to be honest, I don't know why I just did that. Always seem to have weird situations with white markers. Pens, markers, whatever it is. The white ones are just like, I don't know, like it's like I don't know why, but it just always seems like they do weird stuff. I keep wishing that I could do something to this baguette, but it's there. It's in the tree. So it is what it is. But that's going to be it for this review. Just a quick short one. And so, I mean, I give these we're going to say, okay, I don't use fine tip acrylic paint pens often. So my, overall review of them, or my score for them, or grade, whatever, I'm not going to grade or score them actually, because I can just show you how I use them, and and explain how I feel about them. So I'm not going to say yeah they're good or no they're not good, but I do think that they have good color pigment. They're true to color, and they also seem to write really well, and the consistency of the paint or the ink is very fluid. And so that is nice because they're not getting clogged up, and you can fluidly write without worrying about anything. They seem to be easy to shake and to pump, like there's no downfall there, or, negative there. And like I said, they remind me of a mini, not a mini, but a skinny Crayola, so it's a little nostalgic, but they're pretty cool. And, like I just wanted to get on and show you how they work and kind of just talk about them. And, that way, in case anyone's ever want to try them or order them on Amazon or anything like that, they know they can find a video or seen a video. So now you know. And I mean, I do feel like, honestly, that they're worth buying and giving a try if you were interested in trying them and seeing them on Amazon. And yeah, I mean, like I said, I use a larger marker, but I wanted to review this marker because it's the least I can do as an artist to give back to the community whenever, I have a opportunity to. So, yeah, thank you for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed the video. I know it's a little sporadic, a little bit everywhere. That's me to a degree, not always. But thank you. And if you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. And I will see you in the next video. Have a nice night or a nice day. It's nighttime here. Yep, it's about 11 o'clock p.m. And